On everyone, welcome back to the channel, Connor Unchanged. So, big green day today for the mother chain. Bitcoin is up, what is it, 4 5%? About 5% on the day, starting to go down a little bit, which I expect on the next daily candle, probably to go to like 62 to the downside. Again, we're still ranging, but clear as day, it seems like we're going into an uptrend. So we had a ton of alts have serious bounces over the last, 12 to 24 hours. So let me pull up a few altcoins here. Mainly we had meme coins that did insanely well. Most of the meme coins, if you guys saw my video, a couple of videos over the last few days, most altcoins that I talked about are generally up, specifically the meme coins. But I'm just going to bring up a couple that I still really like that have a ton of potential, even if they are starting to move. So Aura is one that I did talk about. This one specifically though, it may have been right around here, but over the last couple days it did drop all the way down to about 8-9 million is where it was sitting. Huge wick all the way down. So someone full clip sold in one transaction a massive bag, which is what caused the price to dump like that, which is fine. But Aura, I think, has a ton of potential. I've been waiting for this to somewhat find a bottom, but I think, anywhere around current levels, maybe not at 15 here, but I think especially since we had Bitcoin hold around 64, 65, if we can hold this level, consolidate, trend sideways for a little bit, and continue another run up, a literal run from here going to 67, 68, and it's not another bounce to the downside, preparing just to continue a, downtrend. If we somehow can break up, bounce around, and then finally have a break into the upside, into a new high, I think any and every single altcoin, across the board is going to start mooning, but I think Aura itself, 100% its bottom will have been found by then. But I think for a general range, if you're looking to potentially add into Aura here, I'd say in between 10 to about 15 million in market cap. That would be my general range to start adding into this. Again, keep in mind we still are trending sideways. I feel like this was a nice pump that we had for a lot of coins, but at the same time, we have a lot of these moves happen left and right. We had a huge run here, alts bounced back after dumping so hard. But again, what I wanted to bring up, what I was saying a minute ago, is Bitcoin still is somewhat in this curved trajectory to the downside. You can almost see it, you can almost draw it out, if you guys understand what I'm saying. It's very much so in this potential range to really have one more bounce down. Again, I don't think it's going lower than where it went before, in my personal opinion, but keep in mind we're still, in my opinion, in a questionable area for where price could just fake out, come back down, bounce one more time. But from this area, if it does come all the way back down, this is where it's going to be very pivotal, in my opinion. But outside of that, some macro factors are very bullish going forward right now. So I think things are starting to look a lot better in the market. But outside of that, we did have a great day in the market today. Mumu itself is another one. This is one of my long-term holds going forward. Just like my main bags as far as on the meme coin side. But Mumu had a huge push today, around 40%. It was up almost 50% at one point. But same thing, I don't expect most of these pumps to just, continue and continue and continue. But definitely good runs here. Bounced right off the low. Probably will consolidate up here, come down a little bit, trend sideways, and then continue up again, maybe after another few days. If we continue to see some more bullish momentum, Because Bitcoin, like I said, it's probably going to pull back very short term, just somewhat around current levels, bounce. And then from there, we're really going to see what happens if it wants to trend back down again, or if it's really just going to break through and continue up and then start trending sideways and up from here, which that would be crucial to see, because that would kind of signify that when we were down here, this really was the full out bottom, which I still believe it was. You know, this was literal max fear in the market, you know, August 5th. That was insane. But same thing like I brought up in the other video. I think if we do see the dollar continue to go down, I mean, you can see on the daily here again, this day alone at a huge drop, and it's probably going to continue. But again, if we do see the dollar break this other low down here, it's around 99 something, probably will continue to drop, and that'll be pretty good, very bullish for Bitcoin too. I mean, it's just one random little simple thing, but you know, RSI does look good too. Technically, on a daily, you know, I don't want to say this is like full out bullish divergence by any means, but sorry, my hair looks ridiculous right now. Oh, but if we look at the RSI, you know, it is forming, it has formed some sort of double bottom almost. You know, it's again, it's not like it's trending upwards, but I mean, obviously here's going up, but again, we have price showing downside right there, but here it's kind of sitting sideways, so not really too much going on with the RSI. But you know, I think if we do worst case again, if we see Bitcoin do like come back down again, trend sideways, and then start to try up again, we're probably going to see the RSI do something similar and kind of signify that it's kind of rounding out, trying to go to the upside. But for what it is, Bitcoin is still right now kind of mid-range for the RSI, which is good if it wants to push into new levels, right? Because, you know, when Bitcoin is up here, it's already maxed out at 80 something, 90 on the RSI, which, you know, is usually a good signal where price is somewhat topped out a little bit. Like in hindsight, looking back at it, you know, that was definitely a clear signal. But for Bitcoin, where it now is somewhat close to that range, but on the RSI, you know, it's kind of in the midway point. It almost kind of reset itself. That was the main reason why I think we've been chopping for so long. But I think we will get back into bought territory at some point. Again, do I think it's going to just be up only from here within the next 2 weeks? Probably not. It's probably going to go up, go down, bounce around one more time, go back up, and then, you know, finally start shooting into that. It might take another month, 2 months, you know, but I'm here for it, right? So that's kind of it going on with Bitcoin. Like I said, I still want to bring up one or two more alts, because, you know, some of the main convictions in the channel, we got Mumu, Mog, Retardio, all recovering a little bit today, which that's really good to see. I'm not going to pull up Retardio because I don't really need to. Chart looks very clean. Had a nice bounce off of support. Let me see what else. Lock-in was another one that I have a ton of conviction in. So if you guys watched my video the other day on lock-in, you know, I kind of was talking about this mainly down here. So it has started to move, but I would not consider this like you're late to lock in. I would just wait for, you know, an internal pullback. And what I mean by that, you know, is some sort of pullback in this area here while this is trending into a new high. You know, an internal pullback would be something like this. You know, small pullback, you know, from here, it's kind of the same thing, you know, it looks very similar. How, you know, if we took out this big range, we didn't see that. This is basically the same exact chart lock-in has, right? Let me get rid of this. Transactions are annoying. You know, this is literally where lock-in is right now, right? And what are you waiting for? Is a potential smaller dip to then ride it into new highs, you know? Very similar chart there. But, you know, this could pull back all the way to 15 million, maybe 16, 17, 18. And again, I'm also not saying, though, that lock-in has now started its run straight up to go into new highs. It probably won't do that. More than likely, we're still going to just trend sideways for a little while. But I think this is probably going to trend upwards like this until it just finally is a clean break. So that's going to be one, again, lock-in I really like. Lock-in and Aura, huge banger projects on Sol right now. One project I'm going to bring up here, shout out to Stan Crypto. He's the one who kind of introduced me, showed me this coin a while ago. If you guys don't know Stan, give him a follow, check him out on YouTube. Very smart guy. He's got a ton of info, a ton of alpha all the time. But he kind of introduced me to Selfie a little bit before it started to run here. Completely faded this, but you know, after seeing this community, it's insanely strong on Twitter. And it seems like every time this coin has a bounce from when the market kind of recovers, this coin goes parabolic. Like this was almost an 100% move. Technically an 100% move just in the last, I think, 2 days alone. You know, and this community is pretty diehard for Selfie. It looks very good here. So again, same thing. I'd wait for a small internal pullback before it actually wants to go. But with something like this, I don't know if this kind of push is going to last. It might come back down. Same thing, kind of just chill out, flatline a little bit. You know, I don't think, you know, we're going into a full out, you know, super hyper giga rip across every Solana meme coin, you know. A lot of the pumps that we saw today, they're probably going to pull back pretty hard in the next 2 or 3 days. You know, but again, that was just a good sign of recovery. So for Selfie, I would say same thing as I treat Aura and Lock-in. Treat it as a long-term hold. I mean, sitting at 17 million. If it goes anywhere around 10 to 15 million, just if you're looking to enter a good dog coin, jump in and stay very patient. Seems like a lot of whale holders are not trying to sell for anywhere around here, which means that they're going to be holding this coin well into new highs, well into price discovery, which is a good thing for the project as a whole, right? There's one more I did want to cover as well. Selfie, Aura, Lock-in. You know, I do want to cover some microcap memes. So Yakub is another one I'm still bullish on. You know, has not done too much lately, but I do expect at some point that, like, for this to actually start to move. So I have added honestly a pretty small position in comparison to what I would want to. But mainly because same thing. I think this, I'm going to just start DCAing into this coin. Just on and off like a lot more. But I think, you know, worst case, this could come down one more time, just trend sideways. And yeah, this is just like a figurative, if you want to call it a trade. You know, just a potential area where it would do about an 100% move. You know, kind of just to show that this range / downside area is done on this coin. You know, I do want to see a big push up. Let me see here. Because like I said, I do want to see a big push up, almost like new highs started. Because that would signify that this coin is now kind of found its range and it's found its bottom. But since it's still just making lower lows, lower highs, you know, it's very hard to try and time exactly when a coin is bottomed out. You know, you can look at it like at support. Like, yeah, technically this looks like a decent support level. You know, prices come into the support. Looks like it's trying to bounce out of it, but my next bet, worst case, this just comes back down a little bit more. So, you know, same thing like I say for all these coins, guys, way more high risk. But just keep in mind that a lot of these coins, if you're looking to jump into them, start DCAing and be patient with them. Do not try to just make a 3 to 5x in a week. Because 90% of the time, unless it's a new launch that you can get in early on, it's probably not going to work. You need to be very careful. Aping into coins depends on market conditions very heavily. But Yakub is definitely a strong micro cap cult. Same with Psyop. That is another one I'm super bullish on. Both have a ton of potential going forward. And yeah, that's mainly, most of the coins I do want to cover. No, there's one more. This was the one I was thinking of earlier. Is Sigma. Sigma is another one, reminds me of Aura in a sense. A lot of people in the younger generation are constantly using this word. Sitting at 7.5 million. This one is basically in its range area. I think this one has a ton of potential to move well into to move well past its previous high, make brand new highs at some point. I think this is going to be a great coin. Same thing, play it as a long-term game, guys. I try to bring up the coins that I have a ton of conviction in going forward, where if you just buy them and hold them, more than likely they will end up doing some good returns. Granted, that Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol within the next few months make a new leg up, right? That is going to be the key factor for most of these. Just, in general, for any coins under a major coin, like Solana, for example, all the coins under Solana are going to move. Why? Because Solana ended up pulling a 10-20% move, right? It's basically like a leveraged Solana that you're buying. But some of these are the best leveraged Solana coins you can jump into, in my opinion, currently. That was mainly what I wanted to cover. No, there's one more too. I'm just bringing up a bunch, guys. So Billy right here. So I've been covering Billy now for a long time. But this is something that I did realize in the chart. 'Cause I think I've been talking about Billy since about 100 million. And it is now at 40 million, which, again, it is down a little bit. But I think Billy still has a ton of potential as well going through the next few months. Because this did kind of go through its hype phase all the way back here, which I guess I didn't really see before, because I kind of assumed this was its kind of dump. It was a hype phase, exhaustion down here, and then it found a range, went into a new high. I didn't really think about, mainly looking at a daily chart, that it was still kind of up only. But it had a huge exhaustion phase, and now it seems like it's going to be trending in between about 2 cents and 6 cents. So if you've been waiting to jump into Billy as well, I think your best bet long term, again, not short term, do not think that jumping into any of these and in a week they're going to pull a 5x. It's not going to happen. Long-term Billy around 2 cents to 6 cents, anything in this range. If you just add once every week, once every 2 weeks, as long as it stays somewhat in this range, at some point this will break out, especially again when Sol makes a new high. This is probably going to continue to run pretty hard and rally really hard into, I would think, easily past its all-time high again at some point. Same with Michi. So many coins I've covered, guys, have a ton of potential. But outside of that, that is what I wanted to cover today. I'm personally just super bullish on meme coins. I just look at, even just what coins kind of had the biggest bounce today. And a lot of them were meme coins. AI coins also had some major, bounces, which is really good to see. AI coins averaged around, I'd say, 6% to about 15% on the day, which was great. But meme coins, I think anything on Sol had a minimum 25 to 40% move today. Some even more. But outside of that, that's kind of what I wanted to cover, guys. Like I said, stay bullish. We are still at the, beginning innings of this potential bull run going forward over the next 6 months, 12 months. However long of a time frame we got, stay bullish, because new highs and major price discovery for Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana are going to come at some point. And when that happens, every single one of our altcoins are going to fly. So stay bullish. and continue to add into conviction coins. And if you guys like any of the coins here, you know, take a peek, take a look at them. Not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. Looking into these coins, you know, this is just my opinion. Some dude talking on the internet, giving you guys my opinion on a bunch of coins. So, yeah, this is my opinion on a bunch of these coins, guys, and that's what I got for you guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.